Hey everybody, it's Dr. Reiser. If you like what you see in our videos, make sure you click subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos about functional medicine, nutrition, and tips on how to reclaim your health the easy way with Functional Health Center of the Carolinas. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Reiser. You're probably watching this Whiteboard Wednesday from your couch or your bed because we are all under quarantine. Not me and not the staff, because we're still here at the office helping you guys out if you need any health questions answered. If you need any kind of health support, we're going to be here for you. But this video today, I'm not going to talk about anything related to immune boosters or anything like that. We're going to steer clear from that, but we are going to talk about the coronavirus and COVID-19 with respect to how everybody is dealing with it. And so we are all quarantined at home. We all thought this was going to be maybe a fun thing to have our kids back from school. That we'd spend more time with our family. And lo and behold, this is making everybody nuts. Okay, it's stressing everybody out. Just the fact of being home, and possibly some people are having decreased hours for their jobs or losing their jobs or trying to teach their kids via online learning or at-home learning causes a lot of stress, okay? And so when we talk about stress in our lives, there's actually many different research-based articles that have talked about what is called NUTS. And so we're gonna go down through these because these are some things that we are experiencing or how we experience stress and perceive stress as far as COVID-19 is concerned. And these four things in the acronym would be the novelty of the event, so the actual event, 2, unpredictable nature of the event, very unpredictable, that we didn't know anything about this until this year, and it obviously was sprung upon us. We have number 3, threat to our body. Obviously COVID-19 is a threat to our body. This happens with many stressors. It could be a threat to your body or your ego, how it affects you basically. 4, sense of loss of control. And I think this is the biggest one. Most people now feel like they have no control over what is happening. We're currently in limbo. Nobody knows when the quarantines are going to be lifted. Nobody knows when kids are going to go back to school. So you add all 4 of these up and they cause a major stress response. So today's video is going to be all about how do we figure out, or what can we do to lower the stress response. So one of the biggest thing in here is looking at the perception of the stressor, the novelty of the stressor, the unpredictable nature of it. Does it affect us? So what most people will tell you, most physicians, people that work with mental health, is it's your perception of the stressor. And what they would term it would be called reframe your stress, reframing. You have to take your stress and use it to your advantage. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. And I'm going to issue a challenge to everybody that's a patient or it's a follower. And there's going to be various different levels of the challenge. We're going to go through that right now. But if you can start to do these, use this time at home to rebuild yourself or give yourself a little bit of a boost as far as your health and get in the right direction. So here's our challenges, okay? I'm going to erase these. So let's start dealing with this stress in a different way. Let's start to refocus our energy on making sure we utilize the time we have at home with no other distractions and try to focus on getting our health in the right direction. Number 1, easiest way to do that is to start tracking our vegetables. So how about we start to get 6 to 7 vegetables, or vegetable servings per day. Okay? And a great way to utilize this time would be to focus on maybe some detox heavy vegetables. So your cruciferous veggies, these are going to be ones like asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, all those, they help with detoxification. And really 6 to 7 servings a day, and a serving would be 1 cup uncooked. If you can hit that for the day, that's going to give you a lot of vegetables. It's going to give you some immune support for sure, and it's going to plug the holes in your diet as far as nutrients. The next thing I like to tell people is get a good ratio. So 25% of your meals protein, and then 75% will be the vegetables. And the proteins we want to stick with are going to be the fruits, or excuse me, not fruits, the fish and the chicken, turkey, lamb, maybe beef and pork once in a while, as long as you have grass-fed items, especially the beef. So try to get that ratio down. I mean, and if you're doing 6 to 7 uncooked cups of vegetables a day, this should be easy to do. I would like you to also get 30 minutes per day of walking. Okay, 30 minutes per day of walking, that's it. Get outside, walk 30 minutes, obviously keep your social distance. 6 feet from the next individual. But go outside and walk, and preferably if you can do this by yourself, that gets your mind to start to calm down basically once you get out there. And I posted this before in another video about the research studies showing 2 different groups of people, both depressed, anxious, when they went out for a 30-minute walk in nature and the environment. That group was less anxious, less depressed, less stressed. It just gives you some time for yourself, relaxes you, and you can utilize it to however you want as far as listening to music. But I like to do it just with nothing. Get out there, you're with your own thoughts, and that will calm things down. The last thing, we're going to focus on sleep. Okay. We're going to make sure that there is no electronics at night. 1 hour before bed. And that lets us settle down. And what do we do in that hour? No, we don't read, because a lot of times you pick up a book that you like and you start to read it, and that's going to keep your brain moving. What I tell people to do during this hour that they're not doing electronics is journal. And one of the greatest ones I've used, especially recently, we've had some patients come in and they love this, is that they're going to journal 5 things that they appreciate that happened that day. 5 things down that you appreciate for the day, and then 5 things that you want to accomplish the next day. Okay, and it's easy. It's just 10 things. And that way, the 5 things that you appreciated for the day, or that you even accomplished for the day, lets you understand that, yeah, the day was a good day. You don't focus on the negative things that happened during the day. You focus on the positive. The 5 things that you want to accomplish the next day gets those out of your mind and on a piece of paper, so you're not laying down, spinning your wheels, reminding yourself constantly every 2 minutes of what you have to do the next day. So those are the 4 things I want to challenge you. Sorry, this is not any kind of in-depth functional medicine. Here's XYZ that you can do as far as stress and NUTS nuts, coronavirus nuts. But this is something that can be easily done in the next 2 to 3 weeks and implement in your routine, so that after this quarantine is over, you can ensure that you're getting your vegetables, you're getting your ratios right, protein to vegetables, you're getting walking going, you're getting your steps in, and this is aside from any kind of other exercise, and you're getting your sleep in. Shut down an hour before sleep, especially with the way the news is right now. It's constant coronavirus. It's constantly talking about how bad things are. Let's eliminate that so that you can get some restful sleep, because if we get restful sleep, the immune system can function, and that's going to be the best thing for us right now, and that's going to be even better than any supplements that I could even ever recommend to you. Get your sleep, let the immune system do its job. Now, because we love functional medicine, we love supplements and amino acids and those types of things, we're going to tell you 4 more things that, in case you just need to take that edge off, and no, I'm not talking about alcohol, in case you need to take the edge off of anxiety and stress during this time, here's some things that you can pick up over the counter, preferably through us, because we can control where you're getting it, and they're going to be healthcare licensed only supplements. But here's some things you can take to calm yourself down and make yourself feel better, okay? The first one we've talked about a lot, and it's one that people will reach for first, and will actually help you sleep as well, is going to be our old friend magnesium. And so we'll do magnesium here. And again, this varies patient to patient, but if you can get around 300 to 400 milligrams per day, then that is going to be something that helps relax you. It's a natural relaxant. Take it before bedtime. It'll help induce bowel movements as well, so that's going to help pull toxins out of your body. Do it to bowel tolerance. If you are at 400 milligrams, let's say, and you start to have loose stools, back it off to the 300. But it's such a great supplement to use, such a great mineral to use. The next thing we're going to talk about is ashwagandha. And ashwagandha is an herb. 500 milligrams daily. Ashwagandha is phenomenal because it metabolizes cortisol. It gets your cortisol down. We've talked about cortisol 100 times as far as stress response. So cortisol is at an all-time high right now as far as coronavirus. So if you can take some ashwagandha, that will decrease the cortisol through the day. Now, if you're one of my patients and you already know that you have issues with some other things like androgens, you may not want to take this. Or if you're somebody that's not a patient of mine that does have issues with androgens, testosterone, those types of things, maybe it being too high, especially women, may not want, or too low, may not want to take this. But overall, 500 milligrams, not too much. You can take that during the day. It helps calm things down for you. Another one I love to give people will be theanine. So the amino acid theanine, and we would do 200 to 300 milligrams per day, I believe. And this actually, if you can't find it in supplement form, it's in green tea. So theanine is in green tea. It makes you feel good. It's a really great amino acid. It helps drive COMT, which gets epinephrine and norepinephrine to settle down if you're cranking out too much from your adrenal glands. But it's awesome because it actually makes you kind of focus and gives you some energy, but at the same time lessens anxiety and stress. So very cool. This is something that we have a lot of here and we use it a lot. So don't hesitate to ask us for a little bit of bottle of theanine. Last one will be taurine. Okay, another T. And this one you can go 500 milligrams, even up to 3 grams per day. Start at 500, work your way up to 3 grams. Just find that sweet spot where you feel like it's lessening your anxiety and your stress. The reason this works, can't see it here, the reason taurine works is because it's a precursor to something called GABA. GABA is inhibitory and it calms everybody down. So it's something really good to take. But these would be the 4 things I would recommend if you're stressed out right now, if you're anxious, especially dealing with family or just the unknown, basically. Like I said, we're in limbo, and that's where that COVID nuts comes in here, where we're just looking and perceiving this as an extremely stressful event. Well, let's flip it upside down and look at it as a situation you can utilize to get your health on track. 6 to 7 vegetables, walk, make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're getting your ratios right. I would also maybe use this time to do some other things. So we could pop these up too, just because we're here. Let's remove some things from our diet. How about no sugar, no grains, no dairy, and I know this one's going to be tough, but no alcohol. Yes, maybe we should use this time for an elimination diet. Most elimination diets are about 3 weeks anyways. You take all of those out for this quarantine, you will feel phenomenal on the other end of it. And guess what? All of these things typically promote a poor immune response. You take them out, your immune response is going to be much better. And if you do happen to ever come into contact with this guy, God forbid, maybe you'll have a chance of fighting it off a little bit better than having this in your diet. So again, the last piece of information here will be maybe use this for an elimination diet period. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Obviously not as in-depth as my normal ones, but I'm getting tired of talking about coronavirus. I'm getting tired of talking about COVID-19 and looking for things that you can do. And every physician and doctor on the planet's on Instagram and Facebook talking about their cocktails and things. Well, let's just get back to basics. Like I said in the other video, let's just get back to basics on our minerals, our vitamins. Let's get back to basics on our stress response, and just use this time for positivity. Use it to flip your life upside down, reverse everything and say, you know what, it stinks. This is just the way it is, but I can either perceive it as a very stressful event or I can perceive it as an opportunity to help myself and use it as that. If you have any questions on the stuff that we talked about, taurine, theanine, ashwagandha, magnesium, we have them all in stock here. You can grab them from us. Like I said, the office will be open. We will continue to help patients if you prefer over the phone or over Skype telemedicine. By all means, you can do that. We're still accepting new patients if you want to come in and start your journey. We just had a patient start yesterday with some gut issues. I know that's one that we see all the time. So don't hesitate to call us. Like I said, we don't have much to do right now, so perfect time to work on your health. I'm Dr. Reiser. Look for us next week for another Whiteboard Wednesday.